Hi my dear friends, my name is Hussein and I'm back with another session from our Unreal Engine course. I hope you all have been doing your exercises up to this point. In this session we're going to learn how to do the lighting for our scenes without the help of ray tracing, because some of you may not have access to an RTX card or your GPU may be weak. So we go to the project setting from edit and search for ray tracing, and then we disable all these options. Okay, so ray tracing has been disabled for my scene, and the reason that I want all of you to watch this session is that even if you have an RTX card, you may have a client who doesn't, and you may need to make an executable file for him. And if he has a low-end system, it would be better if you know how to do that scene and customize that scene without ray tracing for him so that he can use it. Now I'm going to start working on this scene with the help of an HDRI image. So I'm going to go to this lights and select HDRI image. Okay, I'm going to start my work with this image. Okay, let's see, let's put it on lit. Let's see it from the outside. All right, okay, and then after that, I'm going to go to visual effects, add a post-process volume to my scene, put it here, for example. Now I'm going to go to the details panel and search for infinite extent, like I talked about in the previous sessions. And I'm gonna enable that, because this way that post-process volume is going to be applied to the whole scene. After that, I go to the bloom tab, check the intensity and put it on 0. And then I go to exposure and check exposure compensation and put it on manual mode. Put compensation at 10 or 15. 15 would be better here. Okay, all right. One of the downsides of having ray tracing turned off or disabled is that we have less reflected light in our scenes, and that's why it's a little bit darker than it should be. But with just an HDRI image, I think we've achieved a good enough starting point. And the weather is kind of foggy right now, or cloudy. We can have it more sunny with the directional light. I add it here and I change the angle, and it instantly elevates the lighting in my scene. I can even have a warmer tint of light. So I go to temperature, enable it, and put 3000 something for temperature, and it gets warmer. This is the kind of warm color light that you get at 5-6 p.m. and it looks good actually. But I really recommend that you go and research the light for different times of the day if that is important for your project, because that just instantly takes your lighting into another level. And just like that, with just an HDRI image and a directional light that resembles the sunlight, you can see how better our scene looks, how much we've achieved with these two things. Sometimes you just don't want the sunny look, and all you have to do is to go to the details panel and uncheck visible, and you will get a kind of cloudy weather type of scene. Okay, but the thing that I actually like about the sunlight is the shadows. I really get beautiful shadows, and I can even blur some of them. Go to source angle and put, for example, 5, and kind of make them blurry, and they look really great, the shadows, and they just make a huge impact on how your scene looks. And so even if we want to make the sunlight invisible and not have it in our scene, we gotta look for a way to have some kind of shadows with other types of light in our scene, because they look beautiful. So I uncheck visible again, and then I'm going to start looking for ways to add beautiful shadows to my work with the other types of lighting. For example, I start by putting rec lights behind my window. So I go to add lights and select rec light, put it here, and I want it to be exactly behind the window. So I'm going to do it again, put it in the right location. Let me just adjust the angles. All right, I've used this scale because I wanted to have longer and sharper shadows, but you can choose to have a different scale for this rec light. And I'm going to play with this until I get the right angle and the right feel for my shadows. Okay, now let me just tweak this light real quick. Go to the source angle, change the angle a little, source, yeah. And I think it's a little too intense too, so I'm gonna put the intensity on 2, for example. I think 2 would be a good value for that. Okay, let me just tweak it a little bit more, put it behind this window, and even change the height, because that way, the lower it is, I could have more and more beautiful shadows under my furniture. Okay, so that's why I'm putting it down. And you can even have 2 rec lights for one window. You can have one down and one kind of higher, so that again you can get all the nice shadows that you want. Okay, I have 2 sources of lights behind my windows. If your shadows are kind of too sharp, you can just change the scale, make the lights bigger. For example, 160 for this one, and maybe 200 for the other one on the right. Okay, they can have multiple values, and the one in the middle is 202. Okay, all right, let's have a look around and see, check the lights at the other parts of the building. Let's see these. Okay, the back needs more light, so I need to increase the attenuation radius for these lights. So I'm going to select them, go to the panel, and increase the value from 1000 to 1500, for example. This way my lights cover more areas. Okay, so everything is lit up to that back wall. Now I can even make my scene look brighter. I need more lights, even more lights. And one option is to just add lights for these light bulbs that we have here. And I can even, tweak these rec lights even more, because I'm seeing some kind of very sharp shadows in the corners that resemble sunlight, but I don't want that. So I'm going to start changing the width of the lights. See, okay, this is better. So I'm going to change the size. Let's have a look from the outside, see how it looks. I'm going to have it a little further back, make it even more narrow but taller. Okay, put it here. Let's check it out. Okay, this is a lot better. Now I even need more light than this in my scene size. Select all 3 rec lights, go to the right panel, and let's see, indirect lighting intensity. I'm going to increase this, make it 5. Okay, 10 even. And this is more of what I was looking for, so I'm going to change the intensity back to 1 and make the indirect lighting intensity 20. Okay, all right, time to check it out. So I hit F11 on my keyboard and also G, so that we are into the game mode. And let's just check out this beautiful scene. See how beautiful and gorgeous these things look without ray tracing. So you don't really need to have the high-end system that everyone's talking about. You can achieve great results relatively with lower tier systems, but you need to know how. Now I think right now our scene needs more warmth, so I go to rec lights, put one here. All right, let me just change the angle, okay, so that it faces down like so. Let's just make it movable and move it higher up to the ceiling, make it 300 in 5, let's see, 0 0. I'm gonna make it 10, 300 in 10 for the size, and enable temperature, put 3200 for the temperature. Okay, put the intensity on 1. Now let's put it in the right or correct place. Okay, look at it from another angle, and I need to move it up and to the right. I'm going to use the gizmos. Maybe put the intensity at 0.5. Yes, this is good. This is what I wanted. So this part looks a lot better. I'm going to make a copy of this and put this one into the right place too. Okay, so see how much more beautiful and gorgeous our lighting has gotten. So with these 2 lights, let me just go to the game mode real quick. Okay, you can see how better our scene looks. All right, so we are trying to add warmth to our cold looking scene, and looks great. So let's add another rec light to this kitchen here. Okay, I'm gonna change the angle, make it at 90 degrees, and I'm gonna put the intensity. Its intensity is too much. Let's just put 1 and use temperature, make it 3200. All right, add some warmth and change the size, tweak the size and the location so that it looks better, make it movable. And if you've been paying attention to what I'm doing, is just I don't really just add warm colors everywhere. I'm trying to add warm colors to the places that need it, and I suggest you do the same. So make use of that juxtaposition to your benefit. So looks good. I think this red light is okay for now. Let's just put 0.3 for intensity. Let's look at it from a distance. Okay, looks good. Okay, I think it's a little too much, the intensity. It's just I need to decrease the intensity a little, and the radius too. So I don't want it to light up all the kitchen. I just want it to light the oven. So I decreased the radius, and also the intensity, I'm going to decrease that into 0.1. All right. Okay, let's have a look from a distance. Go to game mode. Okay, looks good. All right, we can even add more lights, for example, to this wall here, add more spotlights. Our scene is looking a lot better, and keep it in mind, we're not even using ray tracing. All right, so those of you who don't have an RTX card, don't worry that much. You can achieve great results without it. So we've been using an HDRI image for this scene. I'm going to delete that now. I'm gonna use the sky instead, see how that looks. So I'm gonna add a skylight, okay, put it here. And after that, I need to go to the details panel, and on source type, put it on cube map and select an HDRI image. All right, so this is the type of lighting we get with skylight. And I can even tweak this light too. So let me just toggle the visibility on and off. Okay, I need to make it more intense, but before that, let me just go outside and hide these rec lights that we made for now, because they're gonna affect our scene. Okay, now all we are getting right now is a skylight. Let's go back inside and change some of these values. I'll start with intensity, try different numbers, maybe 10, 20, okay, even more. Let's put 50. Okay, looks good. Now, if I toggle the visibility on and off, you can see the effect it has in our scene. Okay, so this is with visibility off and on. Okay, so this is what we have achieved so far. So with an HDRI image and without it, with the skylight. And we will learn how to add a background image to our work in our material section, so don't worry about that. We will work on that too. For now, I'm going to put the source type back on SLS capture scene, and I'm gonna check real-time capture. It tells me that I need to add a sky atmosphere. Okay, so I add one. And after that, I have to put my skylight on movable. So I selected, put it on movable. It has to be unmovable. And after that, I'm going to select my sun or the directional light, make it visible. Okay, so this is what I get with all of those elements working together. And if I want to have a cloudy feel to it, I change the angle of the directional light or the sun. Okay, and I can increase the intensity for my skylights. For example, I'm gonna use, let's say 100. Okay, and I think it's just my scene has gotten too yellow. Maybe it's because of the sun, so I need to have a colder value for temperature. 5500 is gonna do the trick. Yes, so we improved that yellow looking light that we had in our scene, and it became more natural. And you can even increase the intensity of your directional light. For example, instead of 1, put 10 here, but right now it's facing outside. But if I change the angle, you get to see the impact of changing the intensity. Okay. All right, so you can just play around with the angle of your sun or that directional lights and test out different scenarios and see which one fits your project better. See how beautiful our scene has gotten without ray tracing? It's properly lit, we have sunlight, we have beautiful shadows, we have everything. And this is what you have to do. You have to test out all the different lighting solutions and systems so that you find the one that works best for your project, whether it's using backlights or with ray tracing on or off. Now I think I need to change the intensity for my directional light or sun that I have here. Okay, so let me just test out another value, for example 5 or 2, and it just got better now. Alright, let's have a final look. Let's go to game mode and just marvel at this beautiful scene without the help of a very hefty GPU. So without RTX we achieved this, and make sure to practice what you learned first on this scene so that you experience everything for yourself, and after you tried everything that you learned with this scene, you can just apply the same techniques and tricks on a scene of your own, and then you get to have those skills forever and you get to use them whenever you need to. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.